Welcome back to the Brian and Patti podcast.
Excuse me? This is the Patti and Brian podcast.
Here we go again. You get top billing one time, and suddenly you're Beyonce.
Keep this up, and it's going to be the Patti podcast. I'll let you guest star occasionally if you behave.
See what I have to deal with, folks? I do want to make it clear to our listening audience that this podcast is our real voices. No artificial intelligence or AI on this podcast. This is my actual voice. There is no intelligence of any kind.
You got that right, Jack.
I mean artificial intelligence. Anyway, today we're talking about our 3 legendary trips to Charleston, South Carolina. Twice with my dad and Marcus, and once with just Patti, Marcus, and me. Because to be honest, we needed a vacation from the vacations we took with my dad.
That's not an exaggeration. We will explain.
So picture it's the early 2000s. I'm young and an eating machine, like a man who thinks metabolism lasts forever. But before we hit the road, we decided to grab a bite. I order a spicy chicken sandwich. Patti gets regular chicken. My dad, who should have known better, says, "Well, that looks good. I'll have a spicy too."
1 hour into the drive, he starts clutching his stomach like he's reenacting Shakespeare. He had acid reflux, indigestion, and a full dramatic performance.
And suddenly the vacation became all about my dad. My mom always said he was the most selfish man she'd ever met. I was starting to see why, right there on I-77. Now, the whole reason we went to Charleston in the first place was because Patti and I had won a free hotel stay. All we had to do was sit through one of those in-services where they pressure you to buy into a timeshare.
The man gave a 45-minute speech that felt like a hostage situation.
And when he finished his spiel and I said, "No thanks," he gave us a look like I had personally insulted his ancestors.
Not an exaggeration, but the hotel was fabulous, worth every second of the death stare.
Now let's talk about Charleston, South Carolina itself. A city so full of history, it practically breathes. Founded in 1670, it's one of the oldest cities in the country and often called the most friendly city in America. And honestly, it earned that title. The history, the food, the weather, the hospitality. We fell in love with all of it. It's also called the Holy City.
Yes, probably also because you say holy cow at every site we saw. We walked every inch of Charleston and the surrounding areas.
That is true on both counts.
We visited every site we could think of except the plantations. Patriots Point, Folly Beach, Waterfront Park.
We saw the Battery, the Historic District, and of course, Fort Sumter.
Charleston is one of those places where every street corner has a story, and every story has a ghost.
We took my dad to Fort Sumter on a day when the temperature hit over 100 degrees. The boat ride out there was amazing, breezy, beautiful, and full of history.
Fort Sumter, of course, is where the first shots of the Civil War were fired in April 1861. Standing there, imagining the cannons, the smoke, the tension, it was surreal. And Charleston honors that history. The painted ladies face the harbor. Cannons still stand along the waterfront, and the whole place feels like a living museum.
And then there's Folly Beach. We found it by accident, and it's one of the prettiest beaches we've ever walked. It's not quite Waikiki, but far less crowded and just as breathtaking in its own way. There's a lighthouse nearby that's perfect for pictures. It was the first beach where Marcus took his boogie board and rode the waves like a champ. And also at Folly Beach was the day I nearly got swept out to sea.
He went too far out, and the undercurrent grabbed him. Marcus and I were on the shore yelling, "Brian, come back!"
And they said they saw dolphin fins around me. Now, Patti and Marcus are not marine biologists. How did they know they weren't shark fins? Looking back, I have visions of either drifting out into the Atlantic or starring in a Shark Week episode.
But you survived, and you got a great story out of it.
We all loved Folly Beach so much we didn't want to leave. One day, in 100-degree heat, we overdid it. Patti and I got burned so badly that a woman stopped us the next day in downtown Charleston. And she said,
"Honey, you all need to go to the hospital."
And she wasn't wrong. We looked like two lobsters walking on King Street. I do have a tendency to overdo things, and I paid for it that day. Some of our best food moments were at a barbecue joint called Sticky Fingers. We actually sat at the same table President George W. Bush sat at. And to think my butt sat where a president's butt sat. Now that's something.
I was more interested in the food. Being raised in the deep south, I was in my element. Peach cobbler with ice cream, shrimp, barbecued ribs, wet not dry, and the freshest strawberries I've ever tasted.
We didn't go to the plantations, but we visited the historic slave market, now a flea market. Patti wanted a sweetgrass basket, but they were way too expensive.
We also took a carriage ride driven by Big Steve, one of the largest horses we've ever seen. Charleston just offers things no other city can.
We also did ghost walks, and Charleston is one of the most haunted cities in America. The old Charleston jail definitely felt haunted. We also visited St. Michael's Church, where Robert E. Lee once sat. In fact, Patti and I sat in the very pew that he did. The church dates back to the 1750s and is one of the oldest surviving religious structures in the city.
And the homes, the million-dollar mansions, the palm trees, the ocean breeze, it's like stepping back in time.
And we can't talk about Charleston without mentioning that Dad had some bad moments. We won't go into detail, it's too painful, but we had some episodes where he had to be the center of attention.
Looking back, it may have been early dementia. His behavior was baffling, especially since we paid for everything and tried to treat him well.
Looking back, I wish we could have taken my mom at least once. She would have appreciated it. But at that time, she was too sick, and the drive was 14 hours one way. I love Charleston so much, I actually looked into getting a job there. But Patti, she shut that down pretty fast.
I love Charleston, but I'm not living where there are Category 4 hurricanes and storms.
Every time we watch The Patriot, we go right back to those trips. Charleston is the cream of the crop when it comes to history tours, even better than the ones we do at home. We've got beautiful memories in our scrapbooks, the good, the funny, the chaotic, and the unforgettable.
We learned to wear sunscreen, we learned to bring comfortable shoes, We learned to pack a big appetite, and we learned patience with our dad.
He passed away in 2019, and we choose to remember the good times.
Charleston will always have a place in our hearts. I loved it so much. My southern accent came back for a week.
So until next time, y'all keep your sweet tea cold.
And your biscuits buttered.
And your vacation spicy, but not spicy chicken spicy.
Amen to that. Thanks for listening, y'all.
I heard your accent come back.
Not for long.